Envy is one of the most destructive emotions we carry, yet it often hides in plain sight. Few stories illustrate its quiet power as clearly as the tale of Joseph and his brothers in the book of Genesis. Joseph, the favored son, receives a special coat from their father and shares dreams that suggest he will one day rise above them. What begins as resentment quietly grows until it erupts into betrayal. His brothers throw him into a pit and sell him into slavery, then deceive their father with a bloodied coat, claiming a wild animal killed him. On the surface, it looks like simple sibling rivalry, but beneath lies the raw psychology of envy at work. Envy starts with comparison. Joseph's brothers did not live in absolute poverty or misery. They had their father's household, their flocks, and their place in the family. Yet the moment they measured their lives against Joseph's favor and bright future, their own blessings lost their color. This is how envy operates in everyday life. It is not born from having nothing. It arises when someone else appears to have more attention, more talent, more opportunity, or more ease. The brothers did not want their father's love less. They simply could not tolerate Joseph receiving more of it. Their gaze shifted from gratitude for what they possessed to resentment over what he seemed to enjoy. What makes envy particularly toxic is that it attacks identity. The brothers were grown men, shepherds and heirs, yet Joseph's dreams threatened their sense of self. If this favored teenager was destined for greatness, what did that say about them? Envy whispers that another person's light diminishes our own. It turns brothers into competitors and turns potential allies into threats. In modern terms, we see this when a friend's promotion stings, not because we dislike success, but because it spotlights where we feel stuck, or when a peer's joyful life on social media makes our own feel smaller. The pain is less about their achievement and more about the story we tell ourselves. If they shine, I must be fading. Unchecked envy eventually demands action. Joseph's brothers could not simply ignore their feelings. They moved from bitter thoughts to conspiracy, from conspiracy to violence. Envy rarely stays contained in the mind. It leaks into gossip, sabotage, passive aggression, or outright destruction. The brothers convinced themselves they were justified. Joseph was arrogant. The father was unfair. Something had to be done to restore balance. This self-justification is classic. Envy often wears the mask of fairness or moral correction. They don't deserve that. It's not right. In truth, the drive is to tear the other person down, so we no longer have to feel the discomfort of their elevation. The story also reveals envy's self-destructive nature. By selling Joseph, the brothers thought they were removing the source of their pain. Instead, they carried guilt, fear of discovery, and a fractured family for years. Their father mourned inconsolably. The household suffered. And ironically, Joseph's rise still happened just far from their sight. Envy cannot stop another person's destiny. It only poisons the envier's present. It steals peace, creativity, and connection, while the object of envy often continues forward untouched. Yet the biblical account holds a subtle hope. Years later, when famine brought the brothers before Joseph in Egypt, now a powerful ruler, he chose forgiveness over revenge. The cycle of envy did not have the final word. This suggests that awareness is the beginning of freedom. When we catch ourselves comparing, diminishing others' good fortune, or feeling secretly glad at their setbacks, we can pause. We can ask, what fear is this envy protecting? What part of my own life am I neglecting while I watch theirs? What would it look like to root for their success while still pursuing my own? Envy thrives in secrecy and silence. Bringing it into the light through honest reflection, conversation, or even prayer weakens its grip. Joseph's brothers show us the cost of letting envy rule. They also remind us that no matter how far betrayal has gone, redemption and reconciliation remain possible when we choose a different path. Where has comparison quietly stolen your joy lately? Recognizing the pattern is the first step toward choosing generosity instead of resentment, and freedom instead of the pit we dig for others.